My mother told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And today we don't have any special topic to talk about. We're just going to talk about what we like and what we're watching and what we've been up to.
And it'll be a good time.
A little check-in
Chatty.
with you, our listeners, about the K-drama and K-pop world that we all love so much.
What are we all watching? What are things that we have in common that we're all watching? Are we all still watching Romance as a bonus book?
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All still enjoying it?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Even more.
Yeah, right?
It's so good. And I think we all started Item.
Mm-hmm.
I started
So-
it. I'm done.
Okay.
One and done.
One
I'm
and
out.
done. I watched the first
Not me.
episode, I guess the first half, it's the split episode thing, which just drive me nuts.
The first night?
Because there's no autoplay feature on Cocoa.
I know.
So you have to press the button every time. But
I have to press a button. Oh no.
I don't. I lost my Roku remote, so it's on my
so that's
phone.
the problem.
No, so it's on my phone. So I have to navigate out of what I'm doing to go press the button on the app in my phone.
How inconvenient.
No, it's so annoying because it takes 30 seconds to load the app because it's kind of slow. And then sometimes it doesn't really, it's Roku not found. I'm like, the Roku's a
Right
foot
there.
away from
I'm looking at it.
It's right there. We're on the same internet. It's literally in front of my face. But it's fine. I just wish it would autoplay. But what I'm saying is when it's a half episode, it's a lot more annoying to having to keep go back. But an hour-long episode, you only have to go back once an hour instead of twice.
Especially when it's not a comedy.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. Now I have to
You're like,
get
I have
jarred
to
back in.
off my own agony and the agony of these characters by pressing this button on my phone. But yeah.
Are the rest of you sticking with Item?
I
Yeah,
am.
it's my jam. I
Yeah,
like sci-fi stuff.
it's my area, especially in Western TV. This is what I would be normally watching. I haven't watched this second night of episodes purely because I was watching other things and I just didn't want anything crazy, and it feels like a weekend drama.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that was the same.
dark
I watched
for
the
me,
first
I
half
think.
of the episode, and then I was like, okay, I'm actually really interested in the premise of this show, but I feel like it's kind of gonna bum me out if I keep watching it today, so I'm gonna go watch something else.
My thing was that I found watching it, I was anxious, it was making me really anxious, which I think is the point. It's weird
definitely.
and it's interesting, but it's weird, and I like the concept, but I was simultaneously anxious and bored watching it, and I'm like, that's not really entertaining to me. So I was like, no, I think I'm done.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks like
it
it's
has
gonna
some
get
slow
darker.
parts.
Not.
Yeah.
It has that feel of one that's going to be dark, and it's going to be.
It has
The bad things are going to keep.
it
happening.
has a feel of
Yep.
something that's going to build the tension.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gradually adding stuff
Yeah.
into the stories.
Yeah, that's why I'm not quite sure yet. I'm probably going to watch the second night worth of episodes, and I'll probably get a better feel for if I'm going to. I'll probably still be interested in the premise. This happens to me sometimes. I can be interested in the premise of a show, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to make myself watch it.
Oh
So
yeah,
we'll see.
definitely.
But I was definitely interested, and I thought the acting was good. I mean, I liked the relationship with the little girl. I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, she was so cute. Real
I
cute.
think that's part of my problem.
You're like, something bad's gonna happen to this little girl.
and I can't.
Can't do it.
Can't do
Nope.
it.
I think she's gonna be the
No
one that
child
rises
needs-
above.
It's because of feelings like this that the website Does the Dog Die exists. You know?
This is an important question for some of us.
Oh, totally. Well, that was when I watched. Was it last year or 2 years ago? That Lookout was on, and it was you knew her daughter was dead, but now they're doing the flashback to how she died or whatever, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch that part. And
no,
I
the
just
show was really
always
good, but
skip
yeah, it was
an
hard.
episode.
It was a hard.
and it was just the one episode, and I skipped
Yeah.
the one episode where they showed how she died and stuff, and one of my Twitter friends did the same thing. She was like, no, I'm out too. And then I think it was like episode 3. We watched like 1, 2, and 4, and we were fine. We knew what happened. We didn't have to watch it. You know. And then we watched the rest of it, and it was great. But
yeah, it was a really good show. I still can't believe she was doing all of that pregnant.
I know. Crazy.
She did all her own stunts. It was fucking wild.
But like pregnant in real life?
Pregnant in real life. Yeah.
Wow.
That clothesline scene. The clothesline scene. I literally rewound it and was like, damn. And then like the next day I found out she was pregnant and I was like, damn. Like, girl, you wild. It's a good show. Good show. Got Key in it. Good time.
What about romance? No, romance. We said we're all still watching, still enjoying. Touch Your Heart. Everybody.
Yes. Keep watching it.
Still on that.
But
yeah.
I feel like Secretary Kim, it's gonna be one of those shows that would be better to watch as a binge, but I won't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep watching it week to week because what else am I gonna do with my time?
Yeah.
I felt like I started and dropped a bunch of stuff over the last week, and I feel like with Romance is a Bonus Book and Touch Your Heart, I'm enjoying them. Like I'm looking forward to them. And when you're watching week to week something that you're actually looking forward to, it really reminds you when you're watching stuff that you're not that interested in.
Yeah.
Like, because you have that comparison, that immediate comparison. Wait a minute. I'm not even looking forward to the second episode. Like, I can't wait for episode number 4 or whatever of something else. And it's like, yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. I think I've dropped it. Okay. And like
it's gone. Goodbye.
To spring or something. I tried that one and it wasn't bad. But
which one? Sorry.
Spring Turns to Spring.
Oh,
it's a body swap one. And it was kind of cute and it wasn't bad or anything. But I realized the second week came around and I'd only watched the first episode and I completely forgot about it. And I was like, I guess I've dropped it because I don't
like, well, this was fun, but
yeah, let that one go.
So how are we all feeling about Romance is a Bonus Book?
Oh, loving it. Loving it. So good. So good.
I like how
it just continues to get better.
Yeah.
Every week.
It's deeper than expected.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the premise, like before it started, I was like, it'll be okay. And then I started, it's, you know what it's doing? It's my ID is Gangnam Beautying me. When I saw the premise for that, I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Then I started watching and I was like, oh.
Yeah. And then every week you're like, oh, this is still good. What?
This is
that one
good.
That one wasn't a shocker.
That
one wasn't a shocker for me since I had read the webtoon or whatever they call it.
Oh.
So I always knew it was coming. Everyone was like, oh, this is so light. I'm like, yeah, you just wait.
We'll see first. We'll see.
Yeah, if they keep anything that was in the cartoon, it's gonna go there.
Backwards.
But Romance is a Bonus Book. I mean, there's a lot more depth there than I knew I was gonna probably enjoy it no matter what, but way more story than I assumed. And even not really backstory of all of the side characters, but they still seem deeper than I was expecting.
Yeah, more like subjects that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, it's good. I like the women in particular. The women are all complete characters. They're all different. They're not just like two-dimensional trope characters. Every time you think, oh, here we go, this one's going in this direction, they veer, you think it's going right and they veer left. And it's like, oh, that's not what I'm used to. That's not what they do.
What? These characters are 3-dimensional and not trope-driven K-drama characters? What is this?
I wonder if the writer's a woman or a man. It kind of makes you wonder.
That's what I was wondering too.
That is a good question.
Because the insight in it too, to the ideas of like women who are working and women who stay home and women, all the relationships, like it feels very, very real and very relatable in a way that I don't think a lot of men could understand or like it's like at a visceral level that you're like, you feel it, you're watching it and you're like, I felt that line. Like I know that experience and you don't often see men who get it. You know, they'll try to understand, but they don't have that same level of getting it.
It is written by a woman.
Okay.
I just looked it up. And not only did she write this, she also wrote 5 children.
Hey!
My favorite weekend drama. She also wrote Discovery of Love.
Okay.
In Need of Romance 3, In Need of Romance 2012, and the original flavor In Need of Romance. So that's exciting.
Is the PD woman as well?
Let's find out.
This episode has been sponsored by my drama list, who I'm sure she is clicking through.
You laugh, but yes.
When we talk about like what we're watching,
the director is male.
Staring at my.
The director is male, but apparently is taking advice from. And he was the director of Life on Mars.
Okay, I've heard good things.
Life.
I haven't watched it.
And because it's the first time, and Witch's Romance, and my personal favorite on this list, Cruel City. Otherwise known as Heart Romance. Otherwise known as Everyone's a Cop.
Did you say Witch's Romance, though?
Yes, I did.
That's crazy.
Like, this, yeah, he seems pretty prolific.
It's a good team, then.
So Witch's Romance, just side note, I think it was deeper than people realized, too.
Well. I think it was as well.
There was a big age gap romance thing, and it's not that they simply just talked about that a couple times. Like, they actually showed the struggle of that, both characters, and how that reflected in their life choices. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that they unpacked in that show. So
great
and
show.
It feels like that they're doing that in this as well.
Yeah.
Like, they talk a lot about just the different things. It feels, too, like they know that they're subverting certain tropes and stuff. Like, they almost, the characters will almost talk about some of those things. Like, the when she first met the ex-girlfriend, and she was like, weren't you dating? And it's like, yeah, we broke up. Oh, not cheating. And she assumes the guy
that
cheated.
It was him.
Like, no, she's the one that cheated on me. And he's like, and she's like, and you can still be friends with her? And he's like, I have to be. And then you find out it's a woman. She's plays for the other team now. And you're like,
dodge convention left and right.
And then they like leave it too.
I need to make a side note of something that just happened when I was Googling this. My drama listing this. One of the tags on Witch's Romance was nice male lead.
He was.
No. But it gets better. So I clicked it, and there are only 3 shows that are tagged with nice male lead.
Are they all the same actor?
But one of them is Devilish Romance. No!
Devilish Joy, you mean?
Yes, Devilish Joy. No.
No.
He was nice in the first episode, and that was it. No.
I think we need to go add some tags, guys.
I am let down by this nice male lead tag.
You know what tagged with that is Best Chicken, which I'm watching right now. It's over, but literally the nicest male lead I've ever seen in anything ever. Like, he would give the second lead from Romance is a Bonus Book a run for his money. Like, this guy he's so nice. And I mean, he's more cutesy. Like, he's not as, like, kind of gorgeous as that second lead is, but he's just so nice. Like, he says the right thing every single time. Every time you think he's maybe going to get mad at her or something, and then he pops out just the right thing. Like, he finds out basically she tanked his business, and he's like, I still want to be your friend, and, like, I want to be here for you, and she quits because she feels bad for, sabotaging his business or whatever. And he's like, but I want my restaurant to always be here for you and to be like a home base for you, so you can go out into the world and try and do all these different things. But still, if they don't work out, come back and we'll be here for you, and I'll be here for you. What?
What is this? Magical.
Well, just for everyone out there, I went to Best Chicken and I added the tag nice male lead.
Yes.
And submitted it for approval.
And listeners, if you know of a show on my drama list that needs that tag, let's add more.
Yes.
Because there's
Yes.
more out there.
Oh, here's one. Something in the Rain. That's one that has a nice male lead. Edit page. Tags. Add tag. Nice male.
This episode
There
is
we
basically
go.
Natalia just adding tags to my drama list.
And yes, she is doing it in real time. We can tell.
Submitted. I'm terrible.
So back to Romance is a Bonus Book. And the friendships between women are really nice.
Yeah.
The friendships between women and men are really nice. Like, the relationships make sense.
Yeah.
In the show.
There was not an insta-love for anybody.
No. Well, except for, like, the main lead. He don't count. He don't count.
Even, I don't know. Crushes is one thing. There wasn't an instant.
Yeah. No, his love has been growing for years or whatever. It's not like I saw her, even the second male lead, like, he likes her, he's bumped into her a few times, and it's not until had dinner with her and had a bunch of conversations, then he's like, yeah, no, I like this person and I should ask them out. Like, it's...
Yeah.
And also, she wasn't all, oh, yeah, I'm going to immediately date this guy. I mean, they had a very organic, normal, neighborly friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bonded over the dog. The shoes and the rain thing, the umbrellas,
The green onion.
Exactly, the green onion.
Right? Like,
They got stuff going on.
Bumping into each other in the neighborhood and building a relationship. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's how that works. People.
I did, however, really like the scene where the girl with the crazy mom is out to dinner with the other guy, and she's like all tired of her mom, and then she just looks at him like stirring the orange juice, and she's like, oh, like this might
a halo.
All of my problems. So that's kind of a cute little.
Yeah, there's lots of cute, but like it's not just surface cute.
Yeah. It didn't happen the first day she met him. Like, they'd become friends and like share their problems.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like you're part of the team, like a part of the office team, and you're kind of just watching everybody do all these things, and like, because there's some relationships that just like are just a work relationship, and it's just like an everyday thing, but they're bonding over like a shared, project or something. So it's almost like you're just like sitting watching everybody around you work, and these like relationships that just organically happen with that amount of people who are seeing each other every day.
I do think that's a good point. I liked how, and I know they do this in other dramas too, I'm not saying it's totally unique to this one, but the way you said that it seems like we're a part of the team, I do feel like our knowledge of certain people on the team within the company is very limited, but but it seems natural. Like, our knowledge of the couple that's getting a divorce is limited. We didn't know that they were in a relationship, and it's like it kind of unfolds slowly for us because we didn't know that.
But see, that would be like, you wouldn't know all of this about your coworkers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should you have coworkers?
Right.
I think the only one of us who really has coworkers is Jessie. But,
I mean,
we've all worked at a place with multiple people, I'm sure.
Yeah. Or like, friends of your kids, like parents, you don't know exactly what they're doing and that sort of thing.
And do you know what I smell in this drama? Found family.
Indeed. Our fave.
Well, Amanda smells a birth secret, but we'll just see about that.
That's true. I forgot about that. But we're not going to get into it because, like...
Spoilers.
They're not really spoilers because we don't know. But because
they're just theories.
We suspect. But yet, everything we suspect about this drama, it keeps subverting it. So...
I know.
As long as it keeps on being pleasant surprises, I'm cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
No one really needs to be a serial killer. Right.
Yes, please.
He may
I-
not have bodies
Just has
in that
her
locked
in it,
room.
okay?
I've
The
got
locked
items.
room
Allowing it.
just
I
has-
don't
it's
have the serial killers. We'll leave this one to not have it.
You're right.
good.
Yeah.
We don't need it in every romance drama. Get it? Like, how many serial killers are on the loose in Korea?
Okay,
That's
maybe
what
that
I want to know.
maybe that needs to be a tag on my drama list. Rom-com
Serial killer.
without serial killer.
Listen, we should make a list. Romance dramas without serial killers. Like, you'd think this wouldn't be a thing we'd need to do, but
Yet
it is.
Apparently.
It's a thing we need to do. And then we can also have the list romance dramas with serial killers.
For some people, maybe that's their thing.
Listen,
And that's
Yeah.
you want a little gore with
romance
your,
without
you
a
know,
serial killer. Jesse might like
You're
hers
right.
with a serial
Everyone
killer. So, you know,
like-
it's all good.
I like a good serial killer every once in a while. You know what? But, like, sometimes, no.
I like to know it's coming. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, we don't like to be surprised by a serial killer.
Surprise serial killers? No.
No.
You don't need to
Not
be
into
sexy.
that.
You don't
No,
need to
no, this,
hire the sexiest, most attractive person on the series to be the serial killer. That doesn't have to happen.
like,
You just be the average guy.
yeah,
because that's what serial killers
average guy.
are. They just
They
Right.
just like blend in.
That's how they get away with it for so long, because you don't notice them. 'Cause they're normal looking, usually white dudes.
Maybe in Korea, I think that would stand out.
And in Korea, we'll go with Korean dude. I feel like a white serial killer in Korea would get himself caught pretty quick.
Probably.
He did stuff really fast and then like left immediately.
He always wore like big glasses so you couldn't tell.
And the mask.
Glasses, face mask, that's right. Like the, you know,
Oh,
like
and a black hat.
the perv
Yeah, always.
glasses. Oh, black hat, totally. You know those
Yeah.
perv glasses that like reflect, like they're like mirrors,
Yeah.
so you can't tell where their eyes are. Always those. I always called them perv glasses. I'm sure that's not. But like, what other reason do you have for those glasses?
Fashion.
Fashion, please. They were never in style. They were for pervs and pervs only. We know it.
So how about Touch Your Heart? How do we feel about that?
I'll keep watching.
Yeah.
I haven't watched past the two that we did.
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna, after we're done recording, I'm gonna probably go watch the next episode. But like, it's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an easy watch.
Yeah.
And right now I am like slammed at work. I need easy watches like when I come home from work. I just don't want to think about things.
I did like the end joke so far with like Descendants of the Sun. That was
Yeah. It's like it's got a lot of cute stuff going for it. I don't think it's gonna be a particularly deep drama, but they don't all have to be.
Yeah.
I feel like of the ones that we talked about, like in the last podcast, like of Romance is a Bonus Book and Touch Your Heart, like 2 years from now, if somebody asks you, you probably won't remember anything about Touch Your Heart.
Yeah, but you'll be like, oh, you should watch Romance is a
Romance
Bonus
is a
Book on
Bonus
Netflix.
Book.
Yeah.
Because you probably rewatch that one. Like it feels like one that you might rewatch. I feel like Touch Your Heart you might rewatch too, like depending on how good it
Yeah, like
gets.
if you had like
There might
if
be
it had-
the scenes or the
if
episodes
it-
that you want to go back to.
if
Yeah.
it stays like at the same level of cute that it is right now, it'll be one of those shows that like you had a real bad month. You just need to cheer yourself up. I'm gonna
Great.
put something that I know is gonna cheer me up. And then you're
Yeah.
like, a boom, a touch your heart.
As long as there's no serial killer.
Yeah, well, so
They can like surprise
we
us.
don't know. We don't know what's coming yet.
I
We
mean,
don't know.
like I
You
might
can't-
actually be acceptable with
they
like,
don't put the serial
with the serial killer in it.
with the exception of like Suspicious Partners, they don't slide that serial. No, Suspicious Partners only did it on like episode 4, didn't they?
They
They
shocked me.
slide the
Yeah.
serial killer into the first couple episodes. They lull you
So it
into
could
a
happen.
false sense of security and Ji Chang Wook's beautiful eyes, and then suddenly they're like, "Whatcha?"
Yeah. And it was not subtle at that point. Mm-mm.
Bodies, every little bodies hit the floor. You're like, "Oh, I didn't want the bodies to hit the floor. I just wanted it to-
Oh my goodness. Is anybody watching stuff that's not Korean right now?
I am attempting attempting to watch Great Men Academy, the Thai show, finding legible subtitles is a bit of a trick. It's a bit tricky, shall we say?
And that one's
and I do also
a body swap, right? That one's like it's like a
I
swap
think
back and forth thing.
Genders, like when he, from what I can gather from the unsubtitled bits that I watched, when he jumps into this certain pond, he changes. He is really a she, but when he jumps into a certain pond, he turns into a man and then starts like a gay romance with a dude at the school. He's on the basketball team or something.
But from the preview, it kind of looks like dude him has a relationship with one guy at the school.
Yeah, and then like
female him is into a different guy. So I don't know what's going on. The previews are confusing because the previews aren't
gonna play in the field, but I'm really intrigued. I just need to find subtitles that look like they were written not by an alien. They were written by one of those like AIs that had like their programming gone wrong, where you're like, I can sort of see where this is saying, but doesn't really make sense.
That's my entire experience with Top Star Ubeck, the not very legal subtitles that I found.
Yes.
Hey. Ooh. The gender usually flips.
Yeah, I find it's very common to like switch gender pronouns. Like they'll put the wrong gender pronoun in a lot of the.
And then of course grammar was totally shot, but.
Well, like you get the gist of what they mean.
Yeah.
You can follow along.
But sometimes you could tell like the Korean sounded very lyrical, and you're like, oh, I wish I knew what they actually said.
Yeah, and then like the sentence will be like, she laughed, but they'll be like talking. You're like, I feel like there's like a little more nuance.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Some subtext here, but okay.
I also want to start purely because I hate myself. The season 2 of My Amazing Boyfriend.
I know. I was just thinking, oh, that's coming.
That comes out
tomorrow.
It starts this week, doesn't it?
Yeah, tomorrow I think is the third
today, and I was like, oh no, oh god, this is not gonna be a rough night for old Natalia. Oh, we're apparently.
Tell us why.
Oh, okay, I'll tell you.
You have to love Mike. You have to watch Mike. He's so great. He's so cute.
He's so pretty.
He is very cute. The cast is completely different from the first season, in which a B-list actress falls in love with a mutant vampire, and listen, he's just fuck.
He's got powers.
He's got powers and like magical.
I'm sold with that. That sounds
magical blood from a
star.
Whatever.
Kind.
But anyway, from the synopsis that I read, they get into a big fight and break up. Despite all the shit they went through in the first season, it's the kind of shit that would really like cement you as a couple. But whatever, we need to make drama. But then she moves out of their house and finds out she's pregnant. So then he buys a house like next door to where she's living now to like creep on her, I guess.
Pretty sure that wasn't written that way in the synopsis.
Like, creep on her and his unborn child. Whatever. But it looks like it's going to be a rough ride. Because the first one was a bit of a rough ride, shall we say.
I only made it about a third of the way through the first one.
I watched.
So I'm kind of hoping I don't have to finish it in order to just go enjoy Mike, because I just like Mike. I like Mike.
But the first season, there's something sort of weirdly charming about how bad it is. Like, it's very stupid.
I didn't dislike it. I think I got busy and put it on hold, and then, you're like 8 months later, maybe this isn't hold anymore. I remember what happened,
but I don't really want to watch all the episodes that I already watched to remember what happened, so I'm just not going to finish it. That's sort of, but it's fun and stupid, but fun. And I can say this about it: it's not the worst. It's not even close to the worst show that I've ever watched. So like,
but that's quite the list.
the happy there. But like the acting is bad and the story is dumb, but like it's kind of weirdly charming. And I think that the male lead is Korean. It's a Chinese show. So not only is it dubbed, his mouth doesn't really fit the dubbing. But and he wasn't an actor in Korea. He was a model.
Might probably be dubbed too. But
it'll be dubbed, but it'll
speak Chinese, like Mandarin. So, yeah.
Like, he wasn't an actor in Korea. He was a model, so he can serve some fierce looks. But that's about all he can be up to. So I can't, like, in good conscience recommend My Amazing Boyfriend as, like, a show to recommend. But, like, it's fun. Like, if you like that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, if the actress in My Amazing Boyfriend 2 is any good, like, at the very least, they're starting off better there. Because, like, Mike may not be a super great actor, but he's got charisma. He's got so much charisma, and he's not a bad actor either. Yeah. Like, I think he does a pretty decent job, you know? So, it's not... just right there, it feels like you're starting at a better jumping off point. So... I'm curious. I'll give it a look. I'll give it a little look. See, I'm sure. I started Thai one 2 weeks ago called Wolf. It's a nightmare. I don't know if I'm even going to go back to the second one. It's crazy. It's like these 5 kids get contacted through the internet by some stranger who calls himself the Wolf, and he's like got like $1 million or something, and like, if you do all of the things that like these things I set for you, jobs or quests or whatever that I set for you, then you can win this $1 million. I'll give it to you. But quests are basically like go bang your way through strangers in Asia. Like it's it's a mess.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
And worst part, like, worse than that is the dubbing, the horrible dubbing. Like, it's so bad because supposedly they're like gone to, you know, Hong Kong, or they've gone to wherever and they're traveling around, but they haven't actually hired like Hong Kongers to play the people in Hong Kong. So they've hired actresses that I recognize as Thai to speak Mandarin, and then it's dubbed over in other places. Like, it's so bad. And like the one male lead, I'm pretty sure he had his Thai dubbed too. So like they're dubbing his Mandarin and they're dubbing his Thai, and they're
this sounds magical.
I don't know what language he does speak, but apparently
he's just like opening his mouth.
Oh, God.
See, you're saying this like this is a deterrent, but you're just really selling it.
I'm reeling Natalia in.
Tell me more.
I'm gonna give it a second episode, but yeah, with Thai dramas, you don't give them 4, you give them 2 because there's 12 or 13 episodes to begin with. So
next week we'll all have watched it.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of Wolf so we can really talk about it. Really get into it.
Deep dive.
Yeah.
Deep dive with that show.
Into Wolf. What the world needed.
Definitely had some funny bits too, but like it just, it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird one. But yeah, I don't know. So I got a couple of Japanese ones too, but
I haven't officially announced it. I started watching something, and it's not a non-Korean one, but you'll be very happy to know that I started W. Yay! I'm starting on my New Year's resolution.
Yay!
How far are you?
Keys in the trap.
I'm third episode.
Oh, you're in the thick of an intrigue.
I like it. I mean, it's definitely like set up to be a story that I would like.
No, like, I really liked W, and I didn't have a problem with the ending like so many other people did.
I have a feeling that I'm going to be okay with it.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't hate it. The second half, I spent a lot of the time going, what is going on now? Why are we doing this?
Well, see,
what
did you watch it while it was airing?
No. I
No,
didn't.
I watched it
So.
after. But like W reminds me of like all the books I read. Like so like I didn't have the same problem following along the ending that like the second half that, like
Well, don't
everyone
tell
else
me.
did.
Got it.
Like this
I
is
just
the kind of
couldn't
stuff that I read, like sort of like an urban fantasy, like cyberpunk. I'm like, yeah, I'm down to clown with it. Oh yeah, static man has a face now. Yeah, let's run with it. Like, fuck yeah. Hi. Like variables. You gotta remember the variables. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Like,
Oh yeah.
confused.
I keep trying to recommend it to my husband. My husband hasn't watched. I don't think he's seen a full K-drama yet, but he likes shooting. Like, so I think that that aspect of his character would be interesting, and just the whole comic book character thing. I just think it's pretty stylized.
Oh, K2.
You should make him watch the K2.
I haven't seen K2 yet.
It's like I do not know what she's doing right now.
K,
Making a bunny.
K.
Natalia was throwing up gang signs while I was talking, and I had no idea what was going on.
Language.
I was giving my valuable opinion about shoot 'em ups. K2. It's a good shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em.
Okay. I will make a point to watch that sometime, then make him watch it.
There's also for us ladies a nice naked shower fight where they're legit naked. They just blurt out the dicks. So not much to the
Natalia's filter is broken tonight.
filter never existed. Okay?
Well, you're just supposed to pretend.
This podcast is rated PG-13 for language warnings and sexual content.
I mean, I never change the rating when I do these, so.
Warning, Natalia swears and mentions penises in this drama.
Now know what these general discussion ones are going to be like.
We get wild. It's certified nudas after dark. So are there any upcoming dramas that people are interested in?
Well, I keep on considering starting The Light in Your Eyes. I'm tempted. Because
This week, right?
I think
Is
so.
that the one? Yeah, with
Vicky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the premise sounds interesting. I at first wasn't that intrigued because I thought, thing is, I don't watch trailers because I get misled by them too much, so I just typically skip. But as far as my read on the posters and just the synopsis, I kept thinking it sounds a little like a downer, so I wasn't way into it. But
yeah,
I've kind of heard it's more fun, so that's why I'm a little bit more interested in it. That if tonally it's kind of more fun than I thought, I might be down for that. So
It's something like time travel or something, right?
yeah, but
think.
I really thought it sounded not fun.
Yeah.
I think it might have more levity to it than I realized, so I think I might give it a chance.
Cool.
Because I think the premise is interesting.
Mhm.
I just didn't want to be sad for however many episodes. Just one after that.
you're like, I don't want to watch a show that's entirely dark turn.
Yeah, just not in for that.
All right, never watch Marriage Contract. While I personally love the drama, it's a bit of a downer. It's not great. Not great. I'm really looking forward to Lay's new show, Golden Eyes.
Yeah.
Golden Eyes. It looks really cool.
It does.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's got like treasure hunter meets
Something.
person who can touch. What do you call like the people who can touch things and like learn psychic things from? There's like an actual name for it, but that's kind of man, isn't it? Except with eyes, like when he looks at something, he can see if it's valuable.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah. Sort of
So
like
Shopping King Louis, but
sort of like Shopping King Louis, but like as an action thriller.
Soul.
Yes, that's all I needed to know. God. Yeah.
I actually watched the first 2 half episodes or whatever of the Hachi or Hatch or whatever that show is.
Or Hachi or whatever, yeah. How was
Anyone
it?
else watch that?
No, I haven't yet.
No, I kind of want to. I'm considering.
I liked it. And I'm not a historical. I really haven't watched that many historical ones. It takes a bit. he does this little side smirk thing. I'm getting a vibe that the main character is a bit of a rebel, and that's what's interesting me so far.
Some of the stills and the tweets that I've seen, it looks a little like funnier, like
yeah,
than
looks like
I
more
expected.
comedic.
Like my only issue is that I kind of really get frustrated with Goara as a actress because I don't
do too.
think she's very good at her job. Like, I have nothing personally against her, but every show I've been in, she's been the worst part of the show. Not enough to deter me from watching something, so I'll probably watch it.
I need to look up which character she is so I know.
She's like the main girl character.
She was in Miss Hammurabi. Do you remember?
I only watched like half of the first episode.
You would like recognize her. She's pretty popular.
What's that show about?
It's interesting that, okay, as far as the first episode or two, whatever you want to call it, I would have said that there were two main girl leads. Maybe not leads, but there were two girl characters that had a decent speaking part. Maybe even three. So it's interesting when I then look at, pull up my drama list. And
she's the only one on the poster.
Yeah.
She was also in Black.
Yeah. And You Are All Surrounded.
I think her character is actually really interesting in this show so far.
Okay.
I've heard that character is good in the first couple episodes anyway,
right.
for sure.
So, like, I can't say further. It's just,
okay.
She has an unorthodox character. I'll say that. The word Hachi, or however they say it, it is a mythological creature that is able to tell the difference between good and bad.
Oh, interesting.
When the trailer came out, it was totally unsubbed, and I watched it and I was like, this is some sort of like alien mystical creature thing going on here, and we were all getting excited, and then it was like, oh, it's just a normal old saga.
Yeah, so like someone just kind of like said that as an aside at one point, and then they sometimes kind of show essentially the gargoyles or statues of this creature. I don't think it's going to come to life or anything cool, but the premise is...
This is about a real person.
The premise is it's tough to tell, like, it's pretty much impossible to tell with men or people good and bad. So, very palace-y of them.
They're basically making it the, like, Greek chorus, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
Even though it's just a random statue you kind of halfway see sometimes. So, I thought it was... But I appreciate the fact they brought it up early rather than, like, 17 episodes later. So
I'm debating. Part of me wants to, but like I'm looking at like even my currently watching list and I'm like, it's so long already. I've got so many things here right now.
And this is a long show. I seriously doubt that I'll be able to stick with it the whole time. I have a bad track record in general of doing that, but much less with historicals. But I at least like getting a feel for them to know what it would be about to see if I want to pursue it further.
Yeah. I think Last Empress I've kind of
emotionally dropped
for me. Like I haven't removed it from my currently watching list, but I haven't watched it in about a week or so, and I was already behind. So I was at like episode 36 and I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm good. I've only got 12 left. And then I went on MDL and it was like 52. What?
You're like, what the?
Yes, you're like, God, hell is this? And I'm like, nope, I'm done.
You're like, I don't have the energy for this.
I'm just bored. Like, I love it. I love the Makjang. I love the characters. I love the whole thing. But it seems to be stuck in a cyclical, it's like, okay, we're building it back around and we think we've solved the problem, and no, look, there's another horrible problem, and now we've taken care of that, and oh, here we go again. And it's just like over and over, and I'm like, I'm good. I think I'm just gonna wait till it's over and watch the last like 4 or something to see where it ends up and
call it a day.
Sure, you'll be fine.
I'm like, no. When I thought I was almost done, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I can keep doing this. But then all of a sudden, it was like Blood for me. It was like, when I watched Blood, I hit like episode 10 or 11, and I was like, there's only a few more. And then I looked at it, and there's 20 episodes, and I was like, nope.
You're like, I'm out.
Got it.
You're like, done. Done.
Did that to me. Like last Empress, it's like I went from being almost done to being just barely past halfway. And I was like, forget it. I can't. Sadly. But also there's so many good things that I want to watch and enjoy. So
Yeah,
that's
I
kind of
started Japanese one, Maison de Police. Interesting. It's interesting. It's like this young rookie cop who is on this like murder case, but it's like exactly like a murder case from 5 years ago. So either the guy on death row is not really the killer, or or it's a copycat and they're not sure. So she goes looking for the like detective who worked on that case, who's retired now, and finds a house with like 5 police officers, all retired, living there. And like they have a retired police dog. And they just like, yeah.
Is that on Viki?
No,
Okay.
It's elsewhere.
Yeah.
Elsewhere. Elsewhere.
Somewhere.
Don't worry about it.
I only found one episode with
in the universe
right
somewhere.
But it was intriguing and it was interesting. And the case that brings them together is solved in the first episode. Like it's completely solved. So I'm not sure where it goes from there, if it's going to be a case a week or if there's going to be some new story, but it was interesting. Like it was very cool that each guy has a different personality and they're all different ages, and they basically, like the oldest one basically called up her boss and was like, "Hey Joe, I want to work with this kid. Assign her to us." Like assign her. She goes into work and she's like, "I don't know, I don't have any leads." And they're like, "Why are you here?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "No, you've been assigned to the like." It's like
the
retired cops. So whatever, it's cute. It's hard to make yourself watch something you don't feel like watching anymore.
Yeah.
When
like don't have
there's
time.
lots of other things to watch. So if you're not entertained by your entertainment, then stop watching it.
Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself through it. Just walk away.
And even if it's something that you really did enjoy and there's really not a reason other than maybe mood or circumstance, if mood or circumstances are the main thing that are making you not dig it right now, just keep it for later. Like just shelve it. You can pick it up later when you're in the mood.
Yep.
Now, if the show itself really doesn't intrigue you anymore, drop the thing. But
get out.
Like sometimes you're just not down for that show at that moment, but maybe 3 weeks from now you will be. Cool.
Legend of the Blue Sea. I watched the first 2 episodes and then I put it on hold, and it sat on hold for a year and a half because I was like, I'm going to go back. Eventually, I am going back. And in December, I hit like episode 5 and I was like sucked in. I finished the whole thing in a week and I loved it. So sometimes you just need to be in the mood.
And what's perfect about my drama list is that you can put it on hold and then the number's still there. So even if it's a year from now and the something like Drama Fever has gone away, you can figure out the episode and it will be fine.
Or sometimes Viki loses it, like numbers, and you're like, you go back a month later and Viki says you haven't watched anything, and you're like, I watched like 8 episodes.
You're like A2, Viki. A2.
Jerk.
I know I watched some of this.
But that happened with me and I'm Not a Robot, which I love. And I knew I was going to love, but I kept trying to start it and I wasn't hooked yet. And I kept waiting to get hooked. And so I had to try a few different times when I was in the mood. And finally I was in the mood once and it hooked me and I was happy. So, I mean, sometimes you just have to wait for that moment, which it's kind of funny because the way I know that the way I interact with on-air shows is very different than the way I interact with shows that are completed that that I have access to. So I don't know. I make different decisions on air stuff than I do, which is silly. I think sometimes it should be
especially since like on air for us is online.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
all technically the same. Like it's all
Yeah, it's
straight.
not like we're sitting in front of the TV like waiting to like see it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Running to the bathroom at the commercial break.
Yeah.
I guess
to be continued. You're like, no.
I guess the only thing is you feel like you're missing out on what everyone else is talking about. I think
That's true.
I mean, if I was alone in a room, it really wouldn't matter. But since we interact with people and stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny how something that's completed, I could put it on hold for a month or whatever and still come back to it. But if I'm watching something current and I get more than 2 or 3 episodes behind, then I'm like, well, I might as well just drop it.
Yeah,
I'm done.
You're just like done.
Like,
Not even on hold. Drop.
hold it, like,
Yeah, completely drop.
and I'll come back
Not
to
come
it
back
later.
to
And
it.
you're like, no, I can't catch up. And you're like, wait a minute. Why? Why is this
You're like,
different?
it's
I don't know.
streaming. I can catch up.
Or you do the thing where you like go onto YouTube and you're like, there's a variety show that I could watch right now, and then get sucked in, and you're like,
That's what I do.
where am I?
Where am I?
That's so true. And now with Cocoa having so many variety shows,
Yeah.
oh no.
You like combine that and YouTube, I'm
Oh.
stuck, and I'll never watch drama. I'll just like
You
right
get,
now
you get into like a YouTube click hole.
oh yeah.
Cause like then the next you watch
Suggesting.
one clip of something, and then there's like the recommended clip appears, and you're like, oh, that also looks intriguing, and then you click it, and then you're just like, oh no. Then like 6 hours passes, like it did for me today, and then suddenly you're like, oh god, I've been lying here on my phone watching friggin' Hello Counselor for 6 hours. This is unhealthy. Oy.
I can do that with YouTube and Running Man clips, and they can be Running Man clips I've seen thousands of times, and I'm still like, yes, I love this episode so much, and I'll sit there and watch it, and I'm like, yeah, sure, give me more. Top 10 of so-and-so. Okay, click. Done. I'm here.
Gayest moments in K-pop.
And then, like, every idol group has, like, their own reality show. So, like, right now I'm watching the Dreamcatcher note thing, and I'm like,
Cute.
there's, like, 50 episodes. Here I am now.
Yeah, and I must say, like, the specific, like, group shows are always so good. Like, they're always so funny, and you're just like, I need to watch all of Icon TV immediately. And then you open, like, V-Live, and that's a whole other shenanigan. It never ends. It never ends.
Well, so on the V-Live front, there's, it's actually live. I should watch this now as they're doing it, and I'm not understanding a lick of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to wait for subs, and then, I need to rewatch it because now I actually know what they're saying.
You watch it twice. You're like, but why didn't I just wait?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes with the dramas too, when you're waiting for Vicky to sub stuff. And it's like, because this is my first life, I watched that. Every episode I watched 3 times because it was like, it's out. I'm watching it. I have no idea what's going on. And I am watching this. And then it's like, it's at 50%. Sure. And you go again. And then you're like, finally, 100%. Woo! And then sometimes you just keep watching like the Kiss episode. You just keep going back and watch the Kiss. No more until the next episode comes.
I like tricking myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm good at Korean, sure.
Yeah,
like, just listening to it, I can figure it out.
Like, I've been listening to it for years now. I'm sure I can like definitely understand what they're talking.
Pick up what they're saying, and then you're like, no. But I knew that word. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Like, do I eat? Yep, knew it. Mm-hmm. Someone likes something.
He said bye. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
Cool.
Perfect.
They ordered food. Awesome.
And then the music like turns, and you're like, okay, I now know where I'm kind of supposed to be at this scene.
I was an absolute maniac with My Ideas Kingdom Beauty. I watched it live so I could hype it appropriately, and then I would have to wait for the subs.
I was pretty psychotic the first time My Fair Lady Kong Shim came out. Because no, like, and I know it's not a good show, but I loved it. And so that was how I discovered Viki. I was only on Drama Fever. I was on Viki too, but I didn't use it as much as Drama Fever. But then I found out that Viki posted the episode like a day before Drama Fever, and I was like, oh, so I'm there like watching it half subbed, like yeah.
I thought a robot they did it that way too, and so I would be like, oh, okay, well I can go over here first, even though I was like watching it over here. Sure.
The things we do.
I don't think there's anything really else coming up. I really want to see Possessed, but that's not until like mid-March now. So.
And subs, maybe.
Yeah.
OCN, you never know. You never know with OCN.
OCN is like the devil of subs. They just.
But then, like, the player was, who had the player?
Viki.
It was on Viki and Kokowa, wasn't it?
No, not on Kokowa, because
no, it was on Drama Fever.
Yeah, it was on Drama Fever and Viki.
Okay.
Because Kokowa only has SBS, KBS, and NBC.
Yeah, all the net or the public broadcast.
So anything by TVN or OCN.
So by
JTBC.
some miracle, Viki had the player.
Viki,
yeah, I don't know how.
Because something they've got right now, I think, is JTBC. I think.
So.
Yes. But yeah, like they pick up a few here and there, but.
Have you guys figured out if you lean towards a certain network show? Like, have you figured out if that's kind of your style?
OCN.
OCN is definitely. I could like sit and just watch everything that they produce and then be fine. Not
except for the one foray into rom-coms that was not.
What was that one?
That was the one with Sung Hoon.
My Secret Romance.
Yeah, it's My Secret Romance.
Oh, yeah, no.
But I have to admit that the teasers for that were so funny because they were like.
It was visually very pretty.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
Just nice to look at.
It just wasn't that good. Like, it just wasn't like a well-written show.
My problem with that one, like with so many, is that was one of those ones where like all of the charm came from the two of them together.
Yeah.
Like the scenes where they're together. And then at the halfway mark, they pulled a separation. Mm-hmm. And you're like, there's nothing to watch anymore because the only reason to watch is when the two of them are together.
Yeah, and they really didn't even have that many side characters.
It's stupid.
No, it was just like the mom and like the mean people who worked at the cafeteria.
The second
and
lead.
Why did she even work there? Why did this cafeteria need a nutritionist? The fucking cafeteria.
I think
not like a school cafeteria. It's like a corporate like.
Yeah, I don't know.
And why does the nutritionist have to like help with the food prep?
Yeah, that's kind of a weird line.
The show is great.
It was weird.
So you guys are OCN fans.
OCN.
Yeah.
100%.
I think I'm a TVN. I think more TVN for me. I'm some JTBC too, but I think more consistently TVN is my jam.
Yeah, so far I think I go JTBC and TVN.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
I like a good crime drama. See, I like a good serial killer in a show
that's about serial killers.
That makes sense. To have serial killers in it.
I mean, I love the player. Like, love.
Yeah.
But I think that for an OCN drama, it was lighter than what you expect, typically. I mean, when it started and it was like every episode, because it's on OCN, every episode, I'm like, who is going to die? When are they going to kill them? They could all wind up in jail in the end. I don't know, but it's OCN, so they're all it's going to be horribly tragic.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
Surprise.
I think one of the main ones I'm looking forward to, but it still feels so far in the future, the Vagabond show.
Mm-hmm.
That looks fun.
Or in the future. I'm looking forward to just at the end of the month. There's a Thai one called He's Coming to Me about a ghost who doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know what his name is, and nobody ever like leaves him food at his grave or whatever. And then this like boy can see him and starts like leaving him food because he can see him. And then one day says like, hey, you know, when he's like in college or something, he's like, I could use a roommate, and so the ghost like moves in with him.
Aw,
Yes,
see that.
this is the content that we need in this world, in this horribly broken world. Is
Very
ghost
sweet little slice of life about a ghost.
So I mean,
it's like
clearly gonna end poorly because one of them's dead, and it's when he first meets the kid's like 10, and now the kid's like 20. So like he has not been in a coma. Like if he has been in a coma for 10 years,
he's ancient.
Yeah.
like,
Maybe it would be like very like hopeful and like nicely like end, and you're like very like he's done something great for this ghost.
yeah. So
He's helped the ghost ascend to
Yeah.
the next
It could
world.
be
To
very
re-
sweet.
No.
Bittersweet.
He gets the ghost like to be reincarnated into a brain dead person and come back to life.
So
Done.
zombie.
No, he's reincarnated. The person wasn't dead. He was only brain dead.
They're always
His
only
soul
brain
had
dead.
left. This ghost soul enters. Very different. Possession at best. Not zombie.
Right. There's a lot of Thai actors in it that I like, so and it looks cute. It does look
I like a good, cute Thai show.
Yeah.
I guess also, I think towards the beginning of March, I don't remember, Confession with Jen Ho. That kind of seems good.
That
So they've been.
psychiatric
Yeah, he's psychometric.
Oh, yeah.
That looks good. Mostly
It's
because
like
Jin Young, but
the 11th, I think.
that looks like something I'd be into. There's also Nam Good Ming's Doctor Prisoner. Not a great title, but I will watch him read the dictionary. So I will watch it. He's my boy.
Another handsome priest one coming up.
Yeah, the
Fire
Fire
Priest.
Priest has Honey Lee in it.
I like her.
I like her
cute.
too. She's gorgeous for one. Well, she was Miss Korea, so.
Well,
But she's also a good actress.
Yeah.
Helps too.
I do. What did I just see her in? Something.
She was on the last
Was it a
this week's
movie?
episode of My Little Old Boy.
I
That's the
was
last
not
place I saw her.
So, no, something. I was watching something. I can't remember now if it was a movie or a drama or what. Something she was in.
I don't know. Shiwon's show is supposedly this end of this month, I think.
Oh.
I don't remember what it's called. Something about campaigns.
She wants.
You're really settled
Something about campaigns.
Well,
Yep, that
my
sounds
drama
about
list
right.
wasn't loading, okay? I was trying to get it to load.
And that's monotone voice.
Internet. That's the thing about computers. They'll go fast when you're by yourself, but when you have to look up someone when someone's waiting or there's a time crunch, it's like
No, and I can't even pull up my drama list, like, because it messes up Skype. So it's like freaks out, and I'm like, okay, I have to use my phone, and it's not gonna work. It's a
isn't that pathetic?
Technology.
Technology. I still love technology, but not as much as you see.
What is that from?
Oh God, how many years has it been since that stupid movie? Okay. Well, we're done, right? We don't have
Anyone have anything else?
No, I just need to like there's nothing else
No.
that I can think of. Though. Okay, I'm asking because I do the end. You're all wounding me deeply.
We love you, Natalia.
All right, so I can do the end.
Sure.
Okay, we'll cut all this out.
Maybe. You won't even know because you won't even listen to it.
That's
Come
true,
on.
I don't. I'm terrible. Well, this has been another rousing edition of the Certified Nunas Talk to Each Other into the Void. You can listen to us wherever you're listening to us now, but also on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Gmail, not Gmail, Google Play, the Play Store. We are on Instagram, and we are also on Twitter at @Certified Nunas. We love hearing from people, so please give us a shout out, and we'll probably shout out back. All right, have a great week. We love y'all. Bye.
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 Well, that was my worst ending.